Hey, what's up everyone? I hope you're all having a wonderful day or night, but for now, let's get into the video.
How many dates do you guys give someone before giving up on the spark? I'm specifically asking straight women who date straight men. I'm asking because I am personally on a journey this year to judge less quickly and write people off less quickly. And I've been really working on that. But I'm wondering if there's a certain number of dates that you guys give, or it's just a feeling. I tend to think that I'm right. This is the thing. I've never been, I've never been wrong. Spoken like a true Virgo. But I don't know. Maybe I have given up on people too quickly sometimes. So I'm just wondering, like 5? Like 6? After you smash? I don't know. Anyway, here's my outfit.
Yeah, you look like a rat toothpick, and obviously the right answer is after you smash. What's even the point losing the spark before you smash?
A woman told a date that he was not a gentleman after he spent over $200 on their dinner because he wouldn't pay for her Uber to the restaurant. The man from the date shared his side of the story on Reddit, saying that the two went to their first date at a nice restaurant and he was more than happy to cover the bill. She had Ubered to the restaurant and he offered to drive her home. She said sure and then asked if he could drive her to pick up some skincare products at a market and she would Uber from there. He obliged, even though that's a little weird, right? And then he even offered to drive her home from the market. Funnily enough, her credit card declined at the market. As they pulled up to her place, she asked if he would pay her back for the Uber that she had taken to the restaurant. He had originally offered to pick her up, but she didn't want a stranger to have her address, so he understood why she Ubered, but he didn't know how to respond to her request for money. He said he would send the money over the phone, and then things got really awkward via text when he said that he was really put off by the request for money and that he thinks they should go their separate ways. The date clapped back saying that she's never had to ask a guy because they usually care or offer without her even having to mention it. It's fine for these two to go their own ways if they aren't a good fit based on their expectations. But it does have us asking, should a man pay for Ubers for dates?
Absolutely not. How about I'm wearing makeup? I really don't care. I usually look funny at the Reddit stories, but this is not just a Reddit story. There are thousands, if not more, of TikTokers saying they expect men to pay for their Uber ride, and my answer will still be the same: no.
This is how I know I will never delete this app. I was just scrolling on TikTok and I got on this video of a creator who was talking about like relationships and men and women and dating and kind of like just giving women advice. She said something that absolutely shook me to my core. I've never heard this before. And it literally, I sat there for 5 minutes and I had to just sit there and think. Like, mind blowing. I wish somebody had told me this 10 years ago. So I'm going to share it with y'all. So buckle up. So in a relationship between a woman and a man, she said, the more you do for him, the more he loves himself. The more that you as a woman do for yourself, the more he loves you. Think about that for a second. What she was basically getting at is the fact that the more that you do for a man, in their mind, they're not thinking, oh, she's so amazing, she did all these things for me. In a man's mind, they're thinking, she did all of these things for me, I must be so amazing. Like, I must be so worthy of all of these things. Where on the flip side, the more you do for yourself, he sees like, wow, her self-worth is so high. Like, she loves herself. She's doing X, Y, and Z. She's doing all of these things for herself. And it makes him love you more and be more attracted to you. The same goes for when men do things for women. Men aren't thinking like, oh, I'm going to give her these flowers because I'm such a nice guy. That's what women think. They think, oh my gosh, he gave me a bouquet of flowers. Like, he's so sweet. He's so thoughtful. He's so kind. When in reality, it should be the mindset of, he gave me flowers. Like, he must really like me a lot. Like, I must be so amazing. I must be so worthy of this treatment that he treats me like a princess.
Yeah, funny enough, you're both single. You and the other so-called expert on men who made you now think that you're also an expert on men. Everything the two of you said is quite the opposite of how men think, and that right there should be the only reason why you should delete that app.
My dad said it seems like young men don't want to get married anymore, and I wanted to ask the internet why that might be. Like, I definitely have ideas of why it might be, but I'd rather hear from real people. It's also interesting that it coincides with that statistic that's been thrown around a lot lately, which is that 40% of women of marriageable age are going to be single by the year 2030. And what's interesting is it's by choice. Like, we're all choosing not to do this anymore. And I know that for a lot of women, myself included, there's a lot of hesitancy because we've been hurt and we're afraid. So I'm curious, what is it from the male perspective? Or do you think all of this is just like a consequence of the culture we live in now with like hookup culture and the internet. I don't know. Let me know what I should tell my dad. Thanks.
You should first tell him you're gonna stop lying to yourself. It's not by choice. You're not all single by choice. Cause then the argument that started this video wouldn't have been that men don't want to marry anymore. It would have been simply that you're all staying single by choice. In reality, you and maybe a few others may find staying single more appealing. But to claim that as a fact for all of you, that's delusion.
Here are the best birthdays to have every single month. So if you have one of these birthdays, you are winning at life. Thank your mother. January 4th. Okay, February 11th. March 14. April, it's given 18 or 19.
Ah, damn it, so close and yet so far at the same time. What are her credentials, you may ask? Well,
I do actually have a degree in this from the Mental Illness Institute of Toronto.
I've been seeing all this drama on TikTok about people talking about dating in Australia. Firstly, do I have some stories? I'm an avid dater, right? Like, I believe in love. I constantly date. My friends always laugh because I actually don't take time from dating. Like, even if I have a date with someone, it doesn't throw me off. I just like get back on the horse and find someone else, because I truly believe putting myself out there is going to find the right man for me. No, it is so harsh out here for us ladies from Canada, and I've never been to a country that dating is as bad like Australia. These men here firstly have very, very little manners. I don't want to like bag every Australian man out, but the hardest thing for me to adapt to when I came to Australia is the lack of culture. People just don't celebrate holidays, birthdays the same as they do overseas. I just felt like everyone was very, very about themselves when I got here. Like, looping this back into dating, the cultural differences, these men just have not learned how to treat a lady properly. They really don't know how to court women, actually try and put a little bit of effort in like a first date is the biggest thing for them. European men are so giving. They will literally send you a flight if they want to see you. Like, they'll go through those lengths. Like, Australian men will barely book a dinner. Like, it takes so much out of them, and they want so much banter back and forth. God forbid one of them even taking you out on like a nice dinner too. Something that costs them like $500. That would be the end of all with these guys.
yeah, cause I mean, what's spending $500 on a first date on you? Coming from the girl who's getting flown out by different guys in Europe just to see her, of course, cause she's not that type of girl. Yeah, $500 will be nothing. It must be nice though living in La La Land. Sometimes I wish I was there.
So I'm going to ask you a question. I want you to listen very carefully because I have to ask myself this relatively often. Do you miss them, or do you miss the consistency? From a lover girl myself, I love having someone to talk to. I love having a routine. I love being in love. I love giving love. But do you actually miss the qualities of that person, or do you miss having somebody?
You miss him regardless, and since you're asking yourself the same question, I guess it sucks to be you. Knowing that it was his qualities that made you fall in love with him, and not the fact that he was just there, chances are you are missing him.
Alright, I have a serious question for the boys. If a girl showed up to a first date wearing this, what would you do? What would you do?
I would walk away, but that's me. Some will try to act nice and they'll put up with the embarrassment for the duration of the date, and some will try to turn that red light into a green light. Those will be the ones complaining about a week later that someone keyed their car or set their clothes on fire. You know, the usual. Time to read one more for everyone just listening. Personally, I believe I'm not meant to work. No job is my dream job. Why would I dream of labor? I dream of looking pretty, living a soft and feminine life. Oh, but you do work, princess, cause none of those money are yours. Like you've said in your other video, you're looking for a provider man. Everything you post, it's their money. Not his money, but their money. So you do work. When the lights go out and there's no cameras around, you probably work harder than everyone else. If your average woman is not in the mood, she's gonna say she's not in the mood and she's gonna go to sleep. You can't afford that luxury because, well, if you do, no more money. Alright, this is gonna be it for today. As always, I do hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still appreciate you for making it this far. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe and I will see you in the next one.